So I went to the fruit store, my favorite fruit market this morning, and now I'm at my friend's office where he makes car parts. So that's where I am. But I wanted to show you guys all the great exotic fruit I bought because this place is amazing. They not only have really great local organic produce, they also have stuff from all around the world. And I take it for granted that I grew up in Northern California, but people remind me time and time again that not everybody has access to all these fruits. So if you've never seen this, I wouldn't blame you. This is crazy, right? This is a kind of lemon, actually. So this is a member of the citrus family, and it's called Buddha's hand. That's the common name. You can tell why it's named that, right? It's incredible. It's very fragrant, and it kind of looks like that guy's face from Pirates of the Caribbean. You know what I'm talking about. Um, it's used to perfume rooms and personal items in like Japan and China, that area. And it's not used so much for cooking, but it's actually really good for certain specialty items. So it's more of like an impressive statement piece rather than like I'm going to buy this for a recipe specifically. But you can use it in like candied rind because if you see this, it doesn't have much lemon to it, but it totally has a lot of surface area. So this would be perfect for zesting or a centerpiece on a table if you want to like start a conversation with your dinner guests, have one of these out and everyone's going to be like, what the heck is that? So this was $5 a pound. I spent 8 something on this because I wanted to show it to you guys, and it was worth it to me, I suppose. So I'll be having this hanging up in my room for a while. It's crazy, right? It's like it's like a weapon. So yeah, Buddha's hand. If you ever see one of these in the store, I don't know. I guess I would recommend it, but even better than those kinds of fruits, ornamental stuff, is stuff that tastes great. And speaking of stuff that tastes great, I bought a cherimoya for you guys. This one's shaped like a heart. I liked that. And cherimoya comes from South and Central America, so it's debated where exactly it originated from. But cherimoya is amazing, and I'm just going to break it open for you guys because that's totally in the realm of possibility. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is some people's favorite fruit. I've heard many fruitarians, and those people know their fruit, say that cherimoya is their all-time favorite. So this is a little piece, and there's a seed in here. I'll show you. That is a seed from a cherimoya. Cherimoya, I think the common name is sometimes sugar apple. It's interesting. It's not my favorite. What would I say this is like? Do you want to try a piece? Yeah, you can tell me what someone else's perspective. Okay, so it's kind of like a really dense pear with a tropical flavor. Kind of coconutty almost. Yeah?
Tropical, kind of bit of a pear like texture.
Yeah. I nailed it, you guys, unless he's just not being inventive and copying everything I say. But that's okay. So that's cherimoya. These are great if you want to spend around $5 for one. Totally worth it. Really, really good. Good for you. A lot of health benefits in there. And something that's a little bit more common when moving on is persimmons. It's persimmon season. You'll find them all across stores in North America. I got 2 varieties for you guys. We have the hachia and the fuyu. I prefer this one, and I am in the minority there. All the fruitarians right now are posting their pictures of the hachia. The way that you buy these is try to get a nice dark one with maybe a little bit of softness, and then what you're going to do is leave it on the countertop for like another week, week and a half, and it's going to get incredibly soft and super fragile. They're really easy to puncture and dent by accident, so do keep it, not at the bottom of the grocery bag when you do go shopping. The reason that you're waiting so long is that persimmons are naturally full of tannins, and that's what makes something bitter, whether you're talking about tea or wine or whatever. Tannins are the thing that makes something astringent and not very pleasant, and the sugars are converting all of that, and so you won't notice the tannins as much if you wait longer. So you really want this to be like, touch it and it collapses, that kind of softness, and people say that it tastes like a sugary pudding. I prefer fuyu persimmons. These are crunchy. You can eat them. Let me like wipe it off a little bit, but just straight off like an apple. So good. They can have seeds, so beware. But yeah, persimmons right now at my market, organic, 99 cents a pound. So go ahead and buy like 20 of those. Really, really good snacking food. And these originate in Asia, hence the names Hachia and Fuyu persimmons. But really, really good for California climate, grow across North America. So, moving on, we have an interesting one. Let me know if you've seen these before. Rambutan. Similar to a lychee on the inside or longan, if you've ever seen those. These are a little bit more exotic, I would say, lesser known. This is what they look like on the inside. Yes, so pop that out, and you have this jelly ball, somewhat translucent, and these are good. Throw one to you if you want to snack on that, up to you. Good flavor. The seed inside looks a little bit like an almond. How do I explain if you've never had something like that? It's like Jell-O, but a fruit.
Harder grape.
It's like a harder grape. Thank you, Heath. So this is, I want to say like an eyeball, but that's grossing me out. But yeah, the seed within looks like that. And I, as you know, always save seeds. Always save seeds. You don't know if something is hybrid or even genetically modified, but always save a seed. Because what if it's not? You could be growing some amazing heirloom, awesome variety, and suddenly you have like a vine or a tree. You're saving a ton of money. You know exactly where it comes from. You're lessening your carbon footprint because you're eating locally. And it develops a really personal relationship to your food. So always save seeds. Always start them. And I'm going to talk more about that at the end of the video. So that is rambutan. Really interesting, spiny fruit. And rambutan, I want to say endemic to Southeast Asia. And I read Indonesia. If you want to say Thailand, that's fine. My research led me elsewhere, but I'm sure you know more than Wikipedia. We also have tamarind. Look at these little doties. Don't they look like insects, like pods or something? Yeah. Beautiful. It's a member of the Legumiaceae family. So tamarind, this is what they look like on the inside. They have a spine running down them, like a celery or something. But this is a tree bean, and you may be familiar with it from Asian or Mexican cooking. They love like tamarind in drinks or recipes. So good. It's like a, you know, it is like a stick. Would you mind putting that on silent like you said you would? So this has a very, very hard bean. Tamarind can be either very sweet or very sour. The ones that I get in California are usually pretty sour. I like it though. So it's incredibly sour. If you like candies growing up as a kid, like Sour Patch Kids or Warheads or whatever, this is the candy for you. It's the way to get that natural, intensely acidic kind of like, what's happening to my face? So tamarind grow on a tree. They have really interesting dark, kind of similar to the cherimoya actually, but they have a like red tint to them usually. This one's not developed. This was a bad example. See how skinny it is? They're usually not like that. See if I have a better one. Tamarind is good for eating, I guess like you could say this about any fruit, that they're good for just eating raw, right out of the bag, just wash it and go. And I think that cooking stuff usually tends to mess with it when you're talking about fruit. For example, my friend and I went blackberry picking one time. We got like 5-6 pounds of blackberries. We decided we're going to make a pie. So after we gorged on blackberries, we made a pie together. And I have to say, the raw, fresh blackberries were so much better. And it's such a shame to take something like that and add sugar in cooking and kind of mess up what nature already had perfected for you. So this is a great example of a tamarind seed. And super hard. You could probably break your tooth if you accidentally ate this or had it incorporated into your food. But anyway, tamarind, only about $2 a pound here. And comes in this shell. All you do is crack it, pull it open. Sometimes you'll find a white powder on the inside, kind of like old chocolate might have once in a while. If it has that, throw it away. It's bad. That can mean that moisture got in or an insect or something. It's just, it's old and it's not a good piece. It's probably not going to taste good. It might even make you a little bit ill. So try to look for ones that aren't cracked and don't have holes bored into them from insects. So I'm able to find really good pieces here. A girl went to Whole Foods in New York and got like, I don't know, 7 pounds of this amazing tamarind, and she showed up to the Fruit Luck to share it with everybody, and every single piece on the inside had that white film on it. It was really like, I'm sorry that you just wasted all this money. Um, yeah, so be careful about that. Try to get ones that are totally enclosed. Last but not least, we have a pomegranate. I've been eating an average of 10 to 30 pomegranates a week for the past few. Yeah. Um, I love pomegranates. Who doesn't love pomegranates? Let's get a whole one out in case you haven't seen it before. Pomegranates are, many believe, the first fruit from the Bible story of Adam and Eve. It wasn't an apple, it was a pomegranate. That actually makes more sense historically if you look it up. Fun fact. Pomegranates are beautiful, full of antioxidants. I am in love with them. It's my birthday fruit because it's winter season stuff. And they are, I'll grant you this, like messy and complicated. Sometimes they're expensive. Totally worth it. Pomegranates are just glorious. Oh my goodness. I have a video on how to open them. It can be intimidating if it's your first time. So check out the video. I'll put the link in the comment description below. Pomegranates are the kind of fruit where pretty much all that you're paying for is the actual good fruit inside. Yes, there's a lot of pith and rind happening, but it's weightless. So once you get in there, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of seeds. Amazing stuff. So good for you. And I like to eat the white seeds inside. Some people take this and they spit out the seeds. I don't see the point in that. Delicious. So we went over those 6 fruits. I'm going to talk about how to save seeds in general. So if you've ever eaten an amazing fruit and you thought, God, I never even see this in the store, why don't I try growing it myself? It's a good idea. You should always try to grow stuff yourself. So when you have hard seeds, such as cherimoya or tamarind, these need something called scarification to grow. So how do I explain this? Scarification means you need to scar the seed. Makes sense. So you can either file it or nick it with a knife if you're very careful. You could file it down a little bit. That's going to help the water get into the seed to help it to start growing. And for a lot of tropical fruits that are used to having these really intense, condensed kind of reactions, like they're in a tropical climate, it's really warm out, there's a lot of humidity and moisture going on, and these kind of seeds would experience kind of like a bombardment of intense physical stuff that would help it break down quicker, if that was an okay explanation. So this kind of thing would need some kind of human intervention to get a really high successful germination rate. Because if you look at this cherimoya, 1, 2, 3, I don't know, there's probably like 60 seeds within this whole thing. So only a few of those are going to reach sprouting and maturity. So if you got in there and you were filing them all, putting them into perfect conditions, you could get a success rate of maybe like 80-90% if it's a mature, good seed candidate. Another thing that you can do for scarification is using an acid bath. That's a little more complicated, something that you're welcome to look up on Google, but research scarification practices, and there's many different ways to do this. Nature is crazy. Some seeds literally need to experience a fire in order to grow, because nature knows that until there's been a fire, like there won't be enough sunlight and nutrients and stuff. So in order to not compete, the seeds will lay dormant for like years and then wait for fire. Because of this, you can buy liquid smoke and you can use that to germinate seeds. It's crazy. So botanists and horticulturists have gone in and discovered all these crazy tricks, and it's something that's fascinating. If you want to learn about it, go for it. Something like this doesn't have that hard exterior. You can even see the seed within just with a little bit of like nail scratching. So this kind of thing, I would just take a paper towel, wrap it around, so this is on the inside, dampen it, not sopping wet, but just like a wrung out sponge kind of moisture level. Put that in a Ziploc bag, seal it up, and put it either on top of the fridge, which is a warm spot, or I don't know, in your bathroom cabinet or on a windowsill when it's warm, and that will help this germinate. So it'll keep it at the right level of moisture content. Something like a pomegranate, I'll show you. The seed in here is this tiny white thing. So that you could probably just stick in some soil and keep it damp, or you could try the paper towel method. I have really good success with that. What else did I want to talk to you about? Stratification. Fruits that come from an area where it snows, the seeds will wait until there's been a snowfall or a freezing temperature for a sustained amount of time until it's ready to germinate. So once again, nature has come in and said seeds don't germinate until after it snows, because if all of the persimmons that fell immediately started to grow, the winter would just kill them all. So it's this really intuitive, crazily like intelligently designed without saying that God did it, but there's like some crazy intelligent design going on here where nature has designated that this won't let it fruit and come up until it's experienced a winter. So in order to circumvent that, if you live, for example, in California where you don't have that sustained freezing, you can take the seeds, put them in like a Tupperware with damp sand, and you can put that in your fridge for 3 months, and then it'll grow after that. So there are all these ways to get around what nature has said, I guess. What else? How about this? They have a lot of amazing fruit. So if you've ever been curious about a fruit and you want me to ramble on for really way too long about it, I'll go out and buy that fruit for you, because these videos end up paying for the fruit themselves and I have fun talking about it. And then I get this MF in my room for like 3 months. So I'm happy to do it, you guys. If you want me to talk about different kinds of coconut, nothing's too boring. We can even do apples. I don't care. So just tell me what to look for. If you follow any of the 80-10-10 fruitarians out there and they've talked about like soursop or I don't know, mangosteen, and you just want to see something and you're curious, let me know. I have all these little Asian markets around myself, so I'll go figure it out. I'll hunt them down. I'll be your fruit botanical guide. Yeah, okay. So people to check out. If you want to know more about seeds, you can follow Joseph Simcox. He's this amazing seed guy. He is like a contractor guy for Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, and his job is literally to fly to like India and Nepal and Nebraska and Chile, and he goes around and talks to people and he says, oh, you've been growing these beans for 65 generations, and he takes them and then they start growing them with Baker Creek. So if you want to learn about heirloom seeds, that's a great way. There are an incredible amount of books on all of this stuff that I'm talking about. So if you've ever been interested and you don't want to spend money, just look at articles. Just Google scarification, stratification, propagation, horticulture. All these things are available to you. You can always learn anything you want. That's the beauty of the day and age that we live in, is you can take it upon yourself, be self-motivated and self-taught, and you can go out there and learn all of this. So yeah, I recommend that you, if you're interested, buy the fruits yourself and go to the places where they're growing if possible, and you can get the best, most amazing, like vibrant, fresh foods, great for your body, and always save your seeds and try to grow them yourself, because why not? So I will talk to you guys later. I hope that you enjoyed this like random fruit video. I sure did. And let me know if you want me to talk about any other fruits. I love it.